Welcome to the next episode of Discipline, Desire, and Dedication. Episode 24. My name is Dakota Lang.
25.
Episode 25.
25.
My name is Dakota Lang, along co-host Garrett Cotton. Got a special guest, bro. Glad to have you, Kaleo.
Excited
Welcome,
to be here.
bro.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, bro. You take the reins, Cotton.
All right, so got Kaleo. Kaleo has been one of the guys from the beginning of Performance Windows, been helping us out. He actually opened up the Denver office and got a lot of training in with me and Dakota. But
yeah,
go ahead and tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, where you came from, and, just a little story.
Yeah. Obviously my name is Kaleo. Grew up in South Jordan, Utah, so just 25 minutes from Salt Lake, but a little suburb there. Went to high school there. I went to Bingham High School, so Bingham alumni. Went on a 2-year mission. You guys didn't ride Levi, so done Levi. So 2-year mission in Fort Worth, Texas. Came back, actually did a summer of Vivint Alarms, small alarms.
Mm-hmm. Were you good that summer?
I was awful.
No sales.
I actually saw another guy that was out there in the team recently this week, and I was like, we were talking about it. I was like, yeah, I was awful. I was terrible, man. He's like, oh, we were all terrible. I was like, nah, I was bad.
Any sales? I
had some sales.
Yeah.
Just it wasn't. I went home like a little bit early that summer too, just because I wasn't making enough money. I wanted it. Like I had heard the guys making 6 figures in the summer, and I was like, I want to go.
So you did this in Fort Worth?
No, we did it in Fresno, California.
Oh, okay.
Fresno, California. To kind of talk about that a little bit, because, obviously this is our first door-to-door job.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about, maybe, that was your first door-to-door job?
First door-to-door job.
And how old were you and stuff?
I was 20, 21.
Mm-hmm.
What are like their processes and stuff?
Yeah, so they're big recruiting. Obviously, like if you heard, like a lot of people have heard of Vivint. They own the Smart Home Arena. Now it's Delta Arena again in Salt Lake.
Mm-hmm.
But big, like their recruiting is amazing. Like a lot of them are recruiting big recruiters, especially in Utah. Like everyone knows Vivint. Process-wise, like and that's what I love about performance is like we have such a good process that it's dialed that we know we can bring someone from off the street and train them and get them going, get paid fast, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's where, like, I was trained, but not in a good system where it was like super dialed like performance does.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I probably needed a lot more. Like they didn't give me a script or anything like that. They were just like, listen to this, watch me do this. Okay, now go try to do it. So it was like morning meeting, probably around 10 a.m., 9:30 maybe. And that was an hour, and then we drive out like an hour and knock from like 12:30, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, all the way to 9 o'clock at night. So till dark.
Yeah, I had the first door-to-door person coming. I was first time I was home, and he was I think he was a Vivint guy.
Yeah.
He was Vivint. Yeah, he had nice shirts. Like,
Yeah.
They have really nice uniforms and stuff right now. And he was on the Segway, rolled up, and he was like, "Hey man, you the king of the castle?" And I'm like, I was like,
the king of the
I was
castle.
like, here we go. I was like, let's go. I shut the door, walked outside. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was like, no. I was like, I actually don't own the home, man. So I'm not the real king, but I was like, I do live here. And I was like, but what you got? What's going on? And he was like, yeah. He said, I'm doing alarms and stuff, but I think that's okay. We're trying to talk to homeowners and stuff.
Yeah.
And he rolled off. And, like, that was it. But I was like, there was no script. There was no pitch. There was no hook.
No
like,
excitement, huh?
And I didn't really shut him down. I was just like, nah, I rent. We're probably, or at least ends in, like, a couple months.
Right.
And that was all I said. But I've heard you could still sell alarms to, like, renters, right?
Yeah. I did, at least.
Yeah, I feel like you could.
I
Like,
sold a couple.
That's still a sell. He was some dude from Florida.
I don't know if it was, like, if I was supposed to, but we sold
Maybe
some.
if you can bring it with you, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So they'll buy it.
Yeah, they'll
We'll
buy it.
sell it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But it was good. Like, it was a good experience. I was young, obviously, and I think that was probably like both of you guys came had a girl, kind of had to provide. Now Con has a kid, so another one coming. So I think that's like I was married when I came to performance and have a kid now, and then or 2 kids now. And that's like I think it just kind of your mind shift kind of changes when you got to provide and be somebody else for and provide for somebody else. So.
And so with your experience of performance, so how many people you think were in the company when you first got here?
Well, I think they had just opened Kaysville, like I think that month probably, and there was probably maybe, I don't know, a few people up there, like maybe 5 people in Kaysville, and it wasn't very big. And then we probably had three closers, and then maybe like 10 to 15 knockers in PG. Like we were doing, I think we did like a mill my first month there in PG.
So altogether, it was like 30,
20
30.
to 30 people, yeah.
That's crazy. And now, didn't they just do a little census and see where we're at? How many people we got in the company right now? Not counting corporate.
We're probably like 150, 180, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was like 180.
Yeah.
180, yeah. What,
12 offices, yeah.
I thought we were like 14.
13. 14.
Tucson. Tucson's 13, I think.
Yeah.
Tucson's
14 with Charlotte, Jaden opening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about, so when you went to college? Right.
Yeah, I did a couple semesters, I guess probably a good 2 years total.
Where at?
College. Utah Valley University. So just right there in Orem, Utah.
What were you going for?
Finance, yeah.
Were you trying to be like a CPA or?
My brother's a financial advisor, so I was kind of like going to try to follow his footsteps. And I was working at the time and going to the school, mostly online. But it was just, it's not fun, obviously.
Right.
So nobody likes school. You have your degree. Yeah, exactly. So you know that. Cotton basically knows that too. So he's almost has that. So yeah, going to school, and then I was doing like customer service, I think, at the time. Then I had just transitioned into like a appointment setter on the phone for phone sales. I was selling like it's called career steps. We were selling medical, like beginning medical, like medical assistant, maybe dental assistant, things like that, online schooling.
Really?
So that's what we're selling.
And who brought you in the company?
His name was Jake Fotu. He brought on a lot of people in the beginnings.
Yeah.
But he's not here anymore. But yeah, he brought on Jake brought me on. Grateful for him, obviously. So come a long way.
What's he do now?
He's at a tech startup in Utah, and I think he's like the director of sales. And they're like top 250 Forbes. Something. It's like a big company.
Some
now,
big company.
So, yeah, they've grown up fast. Yeah.
Talk about like your childhood. You know what I mean? Like as a child, were you somebody like what talk about like your personality. Were you somebody that was always like, wanting to be successful, or kind of just talk about, did you play sports?
Yeah, big sports guy. I grew up playing all sports: soccer, basketball, football, golf. I played golf my whole life. But yeah, played all the sports. But yeah, growing up was awesome. I love my parents like to death. Like they took good care of me, raised me right. But yeah, like childhood was awesome. My dad's super, like, he's like, if you're gonna do anything, do it with 110% or don't do it all, right? So that, like, grew up with like good values to work hard. But I knew I always wanted, like, as a kid, to like, I want to be rich, right? And that was me for sure. Like, didn't know like the ambitions, but I just know I wanted to have a lot of money.
Right.
So that was it was good growing up. But my dad's obviously like a third world country, grew up in Tonga, moved here like when he was a teenager. And so like I knew what struggle was, because he would tell me, and he's like, you guys have it good, like you guys don't know. Like his Christmas was a balloon, and that was his Christmas, living in a hut. So I'm just grateful for my parents a ton. So
yeah, was he part of the church and stuff whenever he was in Tonga?
Yeah, he was. So my grandma is part of the church, the LDS church, or she was. She's passed on, but man, I don't want to get emotional. But yeah, family's huge, obviously, in the Polynesian culture. But yeah, she was. My grandpa wasn't. He was an alcoholic, actually. But he came around later on in life, joined the church, cleaned up, stopped drinking and stuff like that.
Heck yeah.
So
That's awesome.
but yeah, just awesome family ties. And honestly, like they push me to be the best, you know, and so.
Is everybody pretty close to you living wise in Utah, or have you all kind of dispersed? Anybody still back in Tonga?
So yeah, my dad's the youngest of 12. So 12,
Wait,
12
he's one of 12.
one of 12, the youngest
Okay.
of 12.
Wow.
Yeah, so big family.
They were busy, huh?
Yeah, exactly, right. So yeah, I mean, if you can imagine, like 12 kids growing up. My dad's the youngest. My grandpa had actually moved to Hawaii away from family just to try to make more money and send money back home to Tonga. And yeah, just big family. And then my grandma stayed there, stayed the grounds, raised the kids. But my dad, like, he would tell me, like, you know, I had to work young, go to school young, and try to help provide for the family. So
Did he end up making pretty good money? Like, I'm sure it doesn't work anymore. Does it still work?
he still works. You know, I think my dad had he has ambitions. I just think he could never take the risk. Like he just didn't take the risk ever. Or he probably would have been a lot more well off. Like they did well. I think my mom's a nurse, and my dad installs cable for Comcast. So like he's done that forever, and made decent money at it, you know, but nothing too crazy.
Always provided.
Yeah, always provided for sure. There's always food on the table, always a good Christmas. So I think that's why I love my parents. Is just like they just made sure that.
Are you an only child?
No.
How many?
We
You
got
had a
6
brother,
kids. Yeah.
Oh,
My
yeah.
parents got 6 kids, yeah. So I'm
5.
second oldest, older brother, and then 4 younger.
Dang.
But yeah, answer your question, like, being 12 children, there was, I don't know some of my uncles, just because they never moved out of Tonga, and I haven't been there yet, so.
You've never been.
Yeah, never been yet.
Huh,
We're planning to grow.
That is
Yeah,
something that
yeah.
like you definitely want to make.
Oh, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of. I've never even like, you know, Tonga. Like, like how far is that? Like, where's that at?
Oh, it's, New Zealand, Australia.
Okay.
It's the South Pacific. Yeah.
Is that like a lower income like country or something?
Yeah, it's like third world. I
Okay.
guess, yeah, some parts are for sure third world. They got cars and stuff, but it's just lots of islands. But yeah, it's not big at all.
Right.
But a lot
Way
of pride
different
in
than
it.
Salt Lake.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the LDS culture is like it's probably about 50% of the country's LDS. And
In Tonga.
yeah,
Okay.
and so I mean, and a lot of them have moved to Salt Lake just because of that.
Yeah, so that's why that was going to be my follow-up question. So it's kind of like known that a lot of people from over there moved to Salt Lake for the LDS culture.
Yeah, a lot of them came to Hawaii. A lot of them are in Hawaii, obviously, just another island, so it's a similar lifestyle. But then a lot of them went to California as well. Still have family over there, but then a lot of them came from Salt Lake.
Talk about your siblings.
Yeah, love my siblings. Obviously, really close ties to them as well, just because, yeah. But older brother's, he's doing awesome. He's an awesome financial advisor.
Yeah.
He's
Your financial.
yeah, he's my financial advisor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's good.
So yeah, he's awesome. Mana's awesome. He has 2 kids, 1 boy on the way. And then I got 2 younger brothers. One's in Hawaii, just got married, and he's going to school there. He tried the job out over here at Performance, but I think he's like me, where I think he'd have a lot more success and like be more serious about it, just because he's married, wants to have a family, and where before he's just trying to make money, and you know, there's not a huge why behind him.
Right.
And then I got 2 younger sisters as well. So, and one's in Hawaii, one's still, I think she's a 9th grade freshman.
Oh, okay.
Just coming up.
So what's the
she's
gap,
younger.
oldest to youngest?
Yeah, she was like, I think I was 10 when she was born. So she was like, yeah, she was younger.
Okay.
And my brother, I think, was 12. So, yeah, there's kind of a bigger gap there.
How often do y'all travel back and forth for like holidays and stuff like that? Like sometimes go to Hawaii and sometimes do it in.
They've been in school. So my sister and brother, they're out there. I haven't been there since they've been to school. It's just longer flights, so. But they'll come Thanksgiving, Christmas time. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, they'll still make it out, and they'll still come during the summer. So yeah,
That's cool.
but yeah, close ties with them. They're awesome, hard workers. My younger brother's on a mission right now in West Virginia, so
Yeah, I saw you posted something recent. I thought one of them you sent. Okay, so you sent them off.
Sent him off. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's working hard. He's doing good, preaching Christ. So
That's good.
yeah.
Yep. So just on the topic, because now that we have you on the podcast, me and Dakota are we're following your footsteps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us just like the transition that you've had from each position. Do you have like a favorite role that you've been in so far?
I think
Tell us pros and cons.
Yeah,
of, like,
pros and cons to all of them, right? Like being a knocker is super fun. Just go out and talk to people, but it is hard work, right? Closing, you got to build a lot more relationship with the people in the home, but you work more hours, right?
Right.
Market owner is a lot more stressed with managing people, and obviously regional is kind of the same thing. You're managing and trying to make sure revenue is being built in all the offices, but they all have their pros and cons. I wouldn't say I would have a favorite. Obviously, market owner and regional, you make a lot more money, so that's awesome. But
that is true.
I always say that knocking's probably the funnest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you talk to this person, and guess what? If he's an asshole, I can just be, all right, man, you have a good day. Ain't never got to worry about him again.
That is true.
At this point in our career, you know what I mean? If we got an asshole and we're doing business with him, well, you better just buckle up and, you know what I mean? You better just deal with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Try and kill them with kindness.
Yeah, just big old smile.
I think my favorite position was probably closing. But it might be because it was my shortest. I only got to do it for 5 months of being like a true closer.
Yeah.
And I just now got to point of like I was figuring it out, and then I jumped into marketing on. It's a whole new role.
Yeah.
And now, so when I get to go close, it's like let's go.
Exciting,
I get to pick it up. Knocking's fun because it's no stress.
Right, zero stress.
You don't carry
Exactly.
anything. Like I can go out there and just knock a door.
Yeah.
I think that's what I loved as a knocker is like you just didn't care.
Well, it's no stress now. It was stress.
Yeah.
As a knocker, it was really stressful. But
At
now
times,
it's like
yeah.
I have nothing to lose if you're mean,
Yeah.
or if you don't
Yeah.
want to talk to me.
Exactly.
I tell the knockers in our office, I'm like, dude, knocking's like pledgeship. You know what I mean? Like, you got to go out there and just work. You got to go hit your doors. You got to go give it everything you got. You know what I mean? But whenever you get out of it, you're gonna be like, dude, those were the best days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're out there with the boys, knocking doors and just finding sales.
Yeah, exactly.
Cutting up, having fun.
And it's always just fun just hearing that shout out. Like,
Yeah.
got a big shout out for Kaleo or Garrett.
That green label is a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's fun stuff.
So you go through college. You come here to Performance Windows. How long you say you've been here?
I've been here for over 3 years, 3 years and 7 months, 8 months.
Does it
3
feel
years.
long?
At times, but
I think about 3 years ain't that bad.
it's not. Yeah, it feels.
Oh,
It's
it's
the
longest
longest
for
strong
4
I've
years.
had. So, longest job I've had after high school. So,
I feel like it's been a blur a lot, especially
Yeah.
closer. Those 5 months as a
blur.
closer, I blacked out. Like I don't remember them.
yeah, that's like knocking. Like I don't remember too often now. But yeah, 3.5 years. It's been awesome. Like as you guys know, like it's Kyle and Levi set up a great pathway where we can come in, learn the script, go knock, get paid, become a closer, recruit some people, learn some leadership skills, and become a market owner, and then add more now. So
Right.
yeah, it's been awesome. 3 years. It's gone by fast, but I've loved every second. Wouldn't change it for the world.
Right. What would you say as far as it kind of goes back to his question a little bit. I know you said there's pros and cons. What would you say your biggest challenge is as a regional?
Yeah, as a regional, I think at times it's like Garrett knows how to do everything, but at times it's like you want to just go and do it for somebody because you're like, I've been in this situation, I know how to do it. Let me just go do it. Whereas you gotta talk them through it, teach it, and kind of just hope for the best for them to go do it right. Which sometimes they get it right, sometimes they get it wrong.
It's not the immediate satisfaction.
Exactly.
Like it's like you
Yeah.
got to put stuff into it, just hoping that it's gonna stick eventually.
Yeah, and like Levi and Kyle say, we're trying to predict 3, 4, 5 months down the road of trends we're seeing now. So what do we got to do now to make sure we're where we're at, where we want to be in 3, 4, 5, 6 months? So
Always
that's
big picture.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the hard part too. It's like, okay, what do we need to do in this office now to get 600, 700, 800, 900K months?
Right.
So, But yeah, I would say that's kind of the most stressful part, like pulling the right strings, doing the right things, but also not overstepping to where I'm doing everything.
And that's one. Actually, me and him were talking about this the other day because I was talking about Austin, and that is my biggest weakness. You know what I mean? Is
Same
that
thing as a
because
market owner, yeah.
right? Because I'm sitting here and I see the problem, right? And that's kind of what Cotton told me. He was like, "Dude, you got to take a step back and let them have that spotlight,
Yeah.
right? Let them have that spotlight to where
Exactly.
they can learn those leadership roles. You know what I mean? And that's my biggest challenge for sure.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, I could go do it for you, but that's not going to help your office grow in the long run. Yeah.
It's hard too because you almost want to let them fail, but you don't want to let them fail because then that's a failure on you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a hard balance for sure.
It is for sure.
Yeah. What would you say as far as like your day-to-day life as a regional? Like, you know,
You go to the office every day of the week?
I'm usually at office. I'm usually either in Kaysville or corporate or PG. Basically every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Saturdays usually I'm not in there. But other than that, yeah. Or if I'm traveling, I'm in an office. But yeah, 5 days of the week.
Do they have any like requirements you have to go to a certain amount of offices in a month?
No, it's kind of just whatever's needed, right? So like we're kind of seeing what trends are, and it's like, cool, these guys need help. Let me go try to help them out, type of thing. So it's not like there's not any requirements per se, but obviously it's just like I should just be doing my job right. I think that's what Levi and Kyle.
You're over PG and Case.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew.
Andrew and Josh
Watts.
Watts, yeah, over both of them. So, I'm either in one of their offices or at corporate meeting with Levi, Kyle. We're planning stuff, and me and Matt are trying to plan stuff and get stuff up and running for more trainings for market owners, things like that.
And I've always wanted to ask this. Do you feel like, because LDS, y'all go on a 2-year mission, y'all go door-to-door, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that gave you an advantage whenever you got into the door-to-door?
Maybe a little bit, just because I was like, I wasn't as nervous than I would have been if it was my first time, right? And it's something different. Obviously, you're talking about Jesus and his gospel on the mission, rather than you're trying to sell someone something on the door. So it's different, but I would say a tiny bit. Like it gives you that just knowledge of someone's going to open the door and you got to talk to them. So yeah.
Fort Worth, Texas is where you were on your mission?
Yeah, Fort Worth, yeah.
And you did the full 2 years?
Full 2 years, yep. Full 2 years out there. Spanish speaking. So I was Spanish speaking probably about a year of it probably, and then English the other half as well. So they're just
wait. So talk about that. So you're saying Spanish speaking? Is that like you're ordered that? Like, hey, look, you strictly go talk to Spanish people?
Yeah. So I was called. So there's missionaries that are called English speaking, and then there's missionaries that are called Spanish speaking, and then, so there's it's the same mission but different languages. And there's like some in Fort Worth we had people that were called to speak Marshallese. Which is like they're just small islands out in the Pacific as well. So there's a group of them out there. But yeah, there's a couple Spanish. We call them wards. But yeah, we're a good congregation of people only speak Spanish. So I was called to go teach the gospel in Spanish. Yeah.
And you had you did not know Spanish?
I took a couple classes in high school, but yeah, nothing.
How did you learn?
Are you still fluent in it?
I can get by with it.
Like a little ¿cómo estás?
Yeah.
Probably a little more than that.
A little hola?
I can hold a decent conversation, but nothing too crazy now. Now I'm over Dallas, so going back, I got to reconnect with a couple friends back there that I met on the mission. So
that's cool.
I try to speak English, and they're like, no Spanish. And I was like, okay. I'll speak Spanish, and I'm forgetting a little bit, so they'll have to like, hey, how do you say this again? They're like, yeah, that's how you say it. So
that's one of the coolest things, and I really realized that whenever we went to where was that at? Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Whenever we went there and like Trias and a bunch of y'all are like speaking Spanish to these people, I'm like, dude, I don't know nothing. I want to talk to these people too.
Yeah, it's fun. It's awesome. I am super happy that I got to connect with that Latin culture a lot.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's a melting pot. I mean, mostly a lot of people from Mexico, but from Puerto Rico still, and Honduras, El Salvador. So I met a ton of people down there. But yeah, it was cool. I went to we call them missionary training centers, MTCs. I went to the one in Mexico for 6 weeks to help me learn.
Mm-hmm.
They try to immerse you in it a little bit more, but also prepare you to how to train to be a missionary. So it was fun though.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So how does that process work when you go through that 2-year stint? Is no connection with no family?
No, so they've changed the rules now where I can talk to my brother weekly via phone call or like a video via Facebook.
Right.
And when I was there though, it was just emails. So
Emails.
yeah, and then you could video call Thanksgiving and Christmas. Maybe maybe just Christmas. I can't remember. But yeah, so you had limited communication, which I liked. I enjoyed just so that I could really just kind of focus on being the best missionary, preaching the gospel, and so forth. So
I feel like in a sense, like a mission is almost like it's like a basic training. You know, if you think about it, like it forces you to be uncomfortable. It forces you to find yourself. Sure. It forces you to like really sprout, like just bloom into who you are. Because like you brought the skill set of like your social interactions. Because it's always uncomfortable to talk to new people.
Exactly.
If you drop you in a place where you don't speak their language, you got to learn how to be friends.
Yeah, exactly. And especially just trying to come up with something to say in their language, and you're just like, I got to be uncomfortable and just mess up 1,000 times.
I've been uncomfortable in my like with the installers. I'm like,
exactly.
I feel so bad. And I went up to one of them the other day, and I was like, hey, sticker, I was trying to like talk about the warranty sticker, and he was like, "What do you need, man?" And I was like, "Bro, you didn't say anything to me the whole time I've been walking around here. I thought you spoke Spanish."
Yeah,
I felt bad on that one too. He laughed because he
knew. Yeah, he knew.
Levi pointed it out because, I had the privilege to be able to, learn under you as well as Matt, right? Both of the regions in the company.
Yeah.
And two totally different styles, but y'all both have y'all's strengths and weaknesses, right? Just like we all do. Mm-hmm. What would you say, because you were, in here whenever we came here, the initial Louisiana thing, what would you say is, I guess you could say maybe most eye-opening? If that would be the right word, for as far as like the Louisiana culture compared to like what we're talking about with y'all's culture with the LDS community.
Yeah, I mean, I think even my family culture, we're a little bit beat around the bush, right?
Mm-hmm.
Louisiana's tell it straightforward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's the way it is. And so that I would say that's kind of the biggest training you guys. It's like you guys are gonna tell me straightforward, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
I love that because we can get straight to the point and fix the issues. Mm-hmm. So.
I always just say it's transparency, because if you don't know what I'm trying to tell you, you're not going to be able to fix it.
Yeah,
so I love that, taking my eyeballs out and putting it in your head so you can understand what I'm looking at.
Yeah, exactly. That was probably, and I think that's probably one of my weaknesses is like being super direct with people, and something I'm always trying to work on, and like, hey, this is what I exactly need you to do. Go do it,
Right.
Instead of saying it a different way. But, yeah.
That's what you would say?
Yeah.
Well, we need to get you to Louisiana one day.
Oh, yeah. I want to go.
Yeah.
My sister served in Louisiana.
Yeah. In Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
She was called to Baton Rouge. She served a lot of time, and I think the main one I remember is Hammond.
Oh, yeah.
Hammond?
That's where we went to school at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, she loves it down there. She talks about it all the time. And when I was telling her, I work with all Louisianians now, she's like, oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she loves it.
We need to push for a conference to go down there when we get big enough.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be crazy.
That would be sweet. It'd be nuts.
I feel like the Phoenix office would get in trouble. For us, I feel like, it'd be like going home. So it'd be like Mardi Gras.
Everybody else be getting in trouble.
Yeah.
You guys have to go save everybody.
Oh, no.
Go bail them out.
Yeah, it'd be an eye-opener for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then another thing, too, is like, like work-wise. So in comparison to like our Louisiana offices, I heard like even in market owner meeting not too long ago, Eric Nance was talking about his wife, like, where do I find a Louisiana guy at,
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what's some of the biggest difference, like work-wise, that you've seen?
Sorry, one more time.
Like just as far as like work, would you say like it's like our personalities are different? Of course, it's like the upbringings, you know, but like work ethic. What do you think is?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are all bought in, like just locked in. I think that's the consistency that you guys bring. Like it's just every day, like you guys are thinking about it. Who am I going to recruit next? Who am I? Who do I got to train? And I think that's probably the biggest difference too. Is just you guys are always locked in. Like Levi and Kyle, like they're always locked in of like, what's the business going to do next, right? So you guys just ride along that, which is awesome.
Yeah. And do you have like so I mean, I'm sure they talk about stuff at corporate and stuff with you, but do you have like a 5-year plan or 10-year plan with the business or?
Yeah, I'm here, you know, it's the sayings, you know, put your head down, work for 5 years or 3 years, whatever time frame you have, and then put your head up.
I originally said 3 years, but now I'm like I have 10 years, so 8 more years.
8 more, yeah, exactly. Put your head down, work, and that's what I'm doing for the next 5 years. Put my head up, see where I'm at, grind after that. Which I'm sure I'm at 10 years, and you know, Levi Kyle will probably sell this business maybe one day after we grow it to a huge amount. But who knows? I don't know the whole backstory with them, if they'll ever sell or if they'll just keep it forever. And
if it keeps growing,
exactly. And so I'm here until something calls me elsewhere.
That's true.
But yeah, my head's down, grinding for sure. So
what would so? Because I love like hearing about y'all's culture and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Talk about, so you go through your mission. When did you meet your wife?
We actually met each other in high school.
High school.
We knew we were friends in high school. Just good friends, and I think we went to like a dance together once, but maybe
you
hung out
danced
a couple. Yeah, I danced in high school. Not anymore.
No more.
No more.
Come on, Kaleo. We know you two-step.
Exactly.
You'd like our dancing. Our dance is a little bit different.
Exactly.
Let Kaleo hear some boosie or something.
Yeah, we jig.
Get the jig
Jig.
going, yeah. Giving that 1-2 step.
So you met her in high school.
Met her in high school. I went on my mission, and she had kind of emailed me. We had started talking a little bit.
On the mission?
On the mission, yeah.
She just randomly emailed you?
Yeah, just randomly emailed me.
That's crazy.
Like, I gotta see what Cleo's doing.
Uh-huh.
So we emailed, and she went on her mission. She served a mission in Spokane, Washington. And we kind of just communicated the whole time. I got home a year before she got home, so, you know, I was doing my thing, going to college, dating girls.
Uh-huh.
And she got back. We went on a few dates, and then 2-3 months before after she had gotten home, we were kind of probably getting serious. Yeah, it was probably October-ish.
Oh, yeah, I always hear the timelines are different. So, like, from when y'all started dating,
yeah.
How long was it until you were engaged?
So we were like, I guess dating. We were going on dates, but not like exclusive for 3 months, and then we were exclusive after that. And from like November, October, and then we got engaged January, February of the next year.
So like within like
5 months.
5-6 months, yeah.
Exclusively date, yeah, and then straight to engagement.
Yeah, but we had known each other. We had talked on the mission a lot. We were good friends in high school, you know, so we knew each other for a little while. It was a little bit different than the other stories you hear in the LDS culture, you know.
Uh-huh.
Where, you know, they meet each other 1 month, and the next month they're engaged. It's wild, but
I feel like, yeah, even within a year is pretty quick.
Yeah. It was quick, but she's awesome. Like, I love Sarah. She's amazing. She's been like 100% just like, as you guys know, like it takes a good lady on your side to have a good family life in this job, and a good and just to push you, right?
Yeah.
And so
would you say that y'all have ever had that talk of like, this is what I have to do and this is what I need you to do with me?
I would say, yeah. Like, I think growing or beginning marriage, we had like, or even before that, had those talks like, this is kind of where we want to be, this is what we want to see in our lives, and then just like kind of sticking to those goals, you know. And
that's
so
good. Yeah, I would say me and Caitlin didn't really have that established until I came to performance.
Yeah.
When I got here, I was like, even coming up here, she wasn't coming with me.
Yeah, I remember that talk.
I was like, look, if she comes, she's gonna have a job, and this is what it's gonna have.
I remember that. And then she stopped working, huh? And then
Yep.
you're like, all right, this is your job now.
She got fired because I was here. That was so funny.
Yeah,
God was like, yes.
we were out in Hood. We were in Hood together. I was knocking the door. I was like, hold on, let me answer this.
Make some
And
dinner.
then that was your first day.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the day we went and got margaritas?
Maybe I can't remember. I know that it was early. It was early whenever I was here
It was
because she was in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, because she flew in and got trained in
Yep.
Texas and then got fired in Texas.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I was like, well, look, lock in. You got a new job.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
been good.
Yeah, I remember. And it started in Denver was awesome. Like, you guys were the OG boys with
Yep.
us, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan and Carson here and Jared. And, man, it was just fun opening this office. I remember, like, obviously I was new trying to learn things, and I feel like I would run things differently now.
Yeah.
But you guys were always just – it was awesome because I knew you guys could just would work hard.
Yep.
Be out there grinding, and so I could focus on other things too, but also just help you guys sales wise. So
That's what I've learned. The biggest thing is when each person does their job, it's enjoyable to be a market owner.
Yeah, 100%.
But when the knockers aren't being able to set appointments, or the closers aren't closing deals, or the closers can't train the new people, or
Gotta go fix problems.
that's when it's like, oh gosh, like
Yeah, you got a million problems.
You gotta go fix back end stuff too.
Yeah. And it piles up quick.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like Stephanie, she's been doing critical measurements, and she'll call me and she'll be like, yeah, I've got 23 measures this week. And I'm like, wow, that's good.
Good job.
And then she'll send them in, and I've got 12 addendums
Oh,
to do. I'm
yeah.
like, man.
Not fun.
Yeah,
But yeah.
Denver's ain't no fun.
Shout out to my wife. Like, she's awesome. Like, even being now, like, I go travel now, and she's home with 2 kids and taking care of them. So
Yeah.
she's always been down for the ride and just being on board with the performance and helping me grow, but as well as me help the company grow.
Yeah,
So,
talk about that a little bit. Talk about let's go. We'll go to a knocker, and then we'll go to a closer. Just coming from your standpoint, right,
Yeah.
as a regional, what would be a tidbit of advice that you would give to a knocker that's coming in here that's fully buying into the performance windows way?
yeah.
Maybe even not seeing the instant results that they want to see, but what would be that advice?
My advice to them would just be, keep your head down and keep grinding, right? Like, they're bought into the system. Just believe that the system's going to work because you see it time and time again. I've done it. Garrett's done it. Dakota's done it. Other people in the office has done it. All the closers in that office. So put that head down, keep grinding. It's going to, like, the job works out. You might need a little bit of training, a little bit more learning curve, but that happens sometimes. That's fine,
Right.
And that's probably something I didn't do with Vivint was, put my head down and keep grinding. I kind of put my head up and was like, all right, let's get out of here.
Right.
Which I should have grinded a little bit more, put more time into it, training and so forth. But that's what I'd say. It's just like keep believing, believe that you can do it. Because if you don't believe that you can do it, you're not going to do it, right? So you got to believe in yourself first, and then keep believing in the system because it'll work out. And that's, we see people come in here and they get one deal and then 2 deals, and then they get in a slump, and they stop believing the system's going to work, where you're just getting back to the basics and keep going from there. So
Yeah. Comes with that fast success will build your ego, and slow success builds your character.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
by failing, you fail a lot in this job.
Yeah.
A whole lot. I failed the first 6 months, or 4 months. Fifth
Yeah.
and sixth, I started picking it up.
And as a closer's perspective, right? Because there's a lot of closers in the company that they see your name. What would be your advice to them? Because a lot of closers in the company, they believe they're market owner material, but in reality, they're not doing what they need to do to get there. So,
Yeah.
what would be? And I would say that's not. It's more of they're stopping themselves, right? But
Yeah,
what would be
100%.
because the opportunity is there.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to them?
I think I came into those points as a closer too, where you think you're the richest person in the world at that time, right? Because you're this is the most money I've ever made. I
Yep.
made $30,000 this month. Like I'm big balling.
Yeah. You're right.
And then you start slowing down a little bit. But I think the biggest thing is just I think they forget about how fun knocking is, right? So I would tell them to make knocking fun again, because if you're miserable out there, you're not going to get sales,
Yep.
any self sets.
Yeah.
And if you don't got appointments, then knockers are going to see that too. And I think that's the other biggest thing is that the knockers will see them not having fun, and then they repeat the same thing. Knockers will. So that's why I would say to see success. Well, just be a yes man too. When something's asked, like, "Hey, I need you to go run this 7:30." Oh yeah, I'm doing that, right? So that was me 100% as a closer. Was a yes man. Like I was doing that. Like, hey, I need you to not take a day off this week. I got you, Kyle. Like, I'm there. Like, oh, I need you to go to Kaysville. I'm there, Kyle. Like, I'm there. Or Levi, whoever's asking. So be that yes man, whatever's needed. And then, yeah, just have fun with the job still. So like, and that's where I think I got where I was like, I'm big ball and I'm the man now. And then I got, like, kind of big-headed. Kyle and Levi say, you know what they say, don't get too happy and fat, right? So,
it happened quick.
I always tell people just stay level.
Yeah,
stay level. Don't get too high because everything that goes up must come down.
Yeah.
And if you get too high, you're gonna crash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd say is keep steady head and stay level, and then just make the job fun. Like, you gotta have fun with the job still.
And that's one thing I go back to. I always refer it back to the month of June when I qualified in May and then I missed it in June. Came in here, you know what I mean, and that was whenever we moved here. Was in May. I started in March, and qualified in May. You know, did good. We had our vision. The vision was there, and then the month of June, my second qualifying month, completely choked.
One sale? Yeah.
One sale, and, you know, I got a 17-year-old kid, Luke Crafassi, comes in here and gets 9 sales. Yeah. You know, and
that's when he did what, 250?
Yeah.
Is that the month he did 250?
Yeah, he did a lot. I remember that. And, you know, and that's the thing. If you get caught up in comparing yourself or seeing what other people are doing and not focusing on what you're doing, then you lose control of the outcome. Right,
100%.
and that is what I think that a lot of, you know, closers and including knockers, especially with how big the company is getting, is that they get caught in what everybody else is doing instead of focusing on what they're doing and controlling their outcome.
100%, and that's what I mean. I call my region the win region. Because it's the acronym of what's important now. Now is not, you know, if you're a closer right now you're not a market owner, so go close, right? Do what's important right now.
I said that in the meeting yesterday. If in order to move up, you just got to become the best in the position you're currently in. When you're the best, it's gonna come.
Yeah, exactly.
Each one.
Go win every moment, right? So whatever important moment is right then, go do that thing right then, right? So if you're knocking, be 100% knocking. If you're closing, go be 100% closing. If you're market owner, be 100% market owner.
Yeah,
and so forth. So
yeah, I think the biggest thing too is that being a yes man, you know, because like we all had to be a yes man to move away from family, move away from friends, move again. You know, it's being willing, because it's all anytime Levi and Kyle talk to me about anything, I'm literally like, I'm here for the growth of the company.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like,
that's
you can take anything from me.
Yeah. I wanted Dakota in my region, and I was like, well, if it has to be that way, I'm with you guys. So
that's even like Carter to Jacksonville. Yeah. He called me. He's like, would you be heartstruck if Carter left you? And I'm like, nope. I was like, not at all.
As long as it's going to help the company grow. Yep. And I think that's where that mindset of like, we're here for the growth, and we know we're going to grow with it. So
yeah, we all see the same vision. That's like
we're still so small though. You know, we think that, and we got 12 offices in 3 years. What are you going to do in 3 more years, right? Double, triple that. You know, so.
Yeah, it's just
excited.
It's just the beginning.
Exactly.
You know? And that's one thing that, as far as like recruiting wise, especially like a lot of people look at me and Cotton and they're like, man, y'all been here, y'all been there for so long. In reality, I ain't even been here 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like the company's still so young now that the opportunity is still endless, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And in the 2 years out there, I think there's 80 more people there than there was when I first started.
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing crazy. I think we were like right at the 100 people mark. Now it's like 180. Let's say that.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
Yep.
So not a big difference.
And that's in a 2-year period.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think anybody can come in right now and be a market owner a year and a half for sure. Like
guaranteed.
Guaranteed for sure. If they're willing to put their head down, grind as a knocker, become a closer fast, and be a really good closer and recruit, like
build your team.
there's just no doubt that Lee Bunkow and me and Matt would be like, that guy's market owner material.
Well, that's the best thing about performance windows, and is that Cotton used to say it all the time, is make it to where there's no other option.
Yeah.
You know, and if you just go out there and you lead, recruit, and drive revenue, you will be a market owner. But if you got to do all three, you can't just lead, you can't just recruit and then not be able to close, because then it don't work. If you do all three, well, then you have no other option but to get your own market.
Exactly. Agreed.
So, well, cool deal, bro. We're glad to have you on.
Yeah. Glad to be here.
Yeah,
it's been fun chatting with my boys.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, bro. Came a long ways.
Yeah. It's love to see you. Like, it's awesome to grow myself, but it's awesome to see Garrett do what he's doing now. You what you're doing now. You know, a couple guys that were making. I was making like $2,000, $2,500 before this, but to make the money that we are now is just awesome.
It's crazy.
Life changing.
Yeah.
Completely life. Generational wealth, man. We're going to be able to bless, our kids, our grandkids, and
bless others. Yeah.
Bless others.
Recruiting wise, do you ever try and send people to a certain office now? Or is it kind of like you just recruit company?
Most of my recruits are in Utah, so it's just easiest to
bring them in there.
Bring
you still try and put like one-on-one time with the recruits you bring in, or you kind of like?
Yeah, I mean, I recruited my buddy Moni and he was having a kid in Utah and just had a kid, but his first month I spent a little time on the doors with him and got him going, and he was doing solar, so I knew he was going to be a baller, but I mean, he did like 8-9 sales just easy last month, so his first month, and he's awesome. So, but yeah, I still try to anybody I recruit
That's what
get them going.
Try and get them anywhere, especially regional. You can start putting them in offices that need them more.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, drop your Instagram and stuff like that. What's your Instagram, Facebook?
Oh yeah, what's your follow that?
Follow me at Kaleo. I think it's just Kaleo Angilau. So
spell that, because ain't nobody.
Hey, nobody wants it. Kaleo Angilau. Kaleo Angilau. So yeah.
And how old are you again, Kaleo?
27.
27. Yeah, the same age as me, same age as you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
both got 2 girls.
both girl dads. So shout out to all the other girl dads. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a boy one day, but that's fine if not.
We'll get one.
Well, cool deal. Well, we're glad to have you on, bro. Y'all make sure to like and subscribe. Also, share the post. And if you are interested in possibly getting on the podcast, send a DM to our page, and our guy Jack will get back with you. So thank you so much, and catch you next time.
Yes, sir.
Peace.